So listen, Bruce, in my research, I found something that I couldn't believe. Vince actually, I'm talking about Vincent Kennedy McMahon. He did an interview with the Pro Wrestling Torch. And in this interview with Wade Keller, he would discuss the roadblock to purchasing WCW, Viacom. Quote, originally, Viacom gave us the green light and indicated to us that the price to us, in essence, would not be severe. So we began negotiations in earnest and good faith with the Turner people and had really good negotiations. And I have a good appreciation for that. Then, unfortunately, at the last minute, out of the clear blue, Viacom's price became astronomical. From there, everything broke down because it didn't make any sense for us to pursue that kind of give back. And he would go on to say, if it wasn't for that, the deal would have been made. Now, we know eventually the deal is made, and it happens in March of 01. But do you remember hearing or thinking it might actually happen in late 2000? What can you tell us about this?
Yeah, it was discussed, but I don't think that there was anything. Stu Sachs, I think that's his name. No. Shit.
Stu Snyder?
Thank you. Stu Snyder was working on some of those different deals. And look, WCW was begging anybody to please just get it off their books. You know, like, hey, we'll give you this, we'll give you that, we'll give you Hanna-Barbera. So yeah, we had discussions with them, but I don't think it ever got any more than by the time, you know, when push comes to shove and it's nut cutting time, that, you know, Viacom changed their mind and wanted to do other things.
We should,
it's always great. You've heard it a million times. Hey, I'm starting a wrestling company. Everybody's going to have this. Everybody's going to have that. My God. And the bottom salary is going to be $3 million. We're paying everybody with, you know, I'm like, okay. I had a guy call me one time. I think you and I talked about this. And he was on a plane, so he only had a few minutes to talk. But he was telling me about his plan. His plan was that he was going to have a show. And that show was going to go live every Friday night, 1 hour. And it would be simulcast across NBC, ABC, CBS, and Fox. All 4 major broadcast network television would have this show simulcast live. First time ever. No one's ever done it. And the deal is done. We're starting, and he gave me a date and all that shit. No. Because, you know, there was a time, you're not in the business, you hear 1,000,001 different pitches of guys that have a little bit of money. They're going to start a wrestling company. And I said, tell you what, man, when you get that contract and you can show me that contract, make me an offer. Just make me an offer, because I'd love to see it. And I talked to him one other time, and then he just kind of disappeared. But can you, I mean, the audacity of him.
Who believes that?
Who? Yes. How? Why? What the fuck? Other than the death of a major dignitary, you know, the president of the United States, you're not going to get a simulcast. Come on. Across all 3, please. Never in a gazillion years. So, you know, you would hear shit like that all the time. And yeah, it was sometimes during that shit, you know, as Viacom's looking at it, they see, okay, hey, if you have that, we'll give you this. And then when it comes nut cutting time, oh no, we didn't mean that.
Right.
That's what we meant. You could make that.
Let's talk about the show here. the Hell in the Cell had really been established at Bad Blood back in October of '97. That fabulous match with the Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, and then of course, maybe more famously, the debut of Kane. But the following summer, man, it just went bananas with the craziness of Mick Foley and maybe you guys went back to the well a little too often. I mean, we would see it a few more times, including in what was supposed to be one of Mick's retirement matches. But now Armageddon, it's going to be a Hell in a Cell, and you're going to load it up with 6 guys, arguably the 6 top guys, or at least 6 of your top guys, in a gimmick match like a Hell in a Cell that I'd really only ever seen 2 guys in it. Like, talk to me about how that happens, because normally I would think, hey, on a big card like this, we want to sprinkle that talent throughout the card. We're just throwing like everything at the main event and in a big time, quote unquote, gimmick match like a Hell in a Cell. What's the thinking, and what do you remember when you first heard that?
Star power. Well, when I first heard it, I was not in favor of it. I wasn't in favor of it for that reason, is that you had all your talent wrapped up in one match. And you've got to serve a lot of masters when you do that. And sometimes, look, you can get away with it. You have a Royal Rumble. That's a logical use of 30 of your top talent. The Survivor Series, there's ways to do that. Especially like with War Games. Take all your top talent, put them in one match and make it work. I just felt it was too much. It was putting all our eggs in one basket, or at least our best eggs.
With Stephanie's return to TV and she's back with Triple H, I want to bring up, it feels like that whole Kurt, Stephanie, Hunter love triangle storyline ends without much of a payoff. Why do you think that is?
Well, I don't think that I really don't think that Hunter really wanted to do it. I don't think that Kurt really Kurt really wanted to do it. I think Stephanie did. I think all of us did. I thought it was a cool storyline that everybody can understand. And it was just so simple, so simple for Steph to fall for Kurt. And now you've got this huge controversy. Everybody can pretty much relate to that. But I don't think that Paul nor Kurt were really in favor of it. Look, man, Kurt's married. I don't think Paul and Steph were married yet, but no, it's 2002. But it was still not crazy about it. You also have to understand, I say this all the time too, is you're dealing with real people.
Right.
You're dealing with real people with real life.
And real emotions and real families and
right. And, Kurt was dealing with that and trying to make his life a little bit easier.